Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to us by one of our dear brother, and this is the message that is sent to us. The message reads like this: life will throw so many challenges at you, and when you are born with a silver spoon in your mouth, that is when you say, when life throws lemons at you, make lemonade. But when you are born poor, born to suffer, it does not make sense. I came here to South Africa with big dreams. I had big dreams. I wanted a better life, a life filled with opportunities that my home country, Nigeria, could not offer me. My name is Emeka, and I am from Nigeria. I left behind a life of poverty, hoping that I would find a new start here in this land, in South Africa, but things did not turn out to be so great for me. Like when you are going into another country, usually if it is a country that has a very massive economy, you think that there are some things that you can have, things that can come to you so easily. I never expected to see poor South Africans from what I had heard from one of my friends. I was hoping to find a good business venture to start one year in Johannesburg. I thought that I was going to make something out of myself to return back to my poor family as a man who had made it in a foreign land. I thought that I was going to become rich and live a life my family back home would be proud of, but I ended up making a deal that changed everything, one that I cannot undo. Now I have more money than I ever dreamed of, and what pains me the most is that I am not allowed to give this money to anyone who is related to me by blood. So what do? I spoil your South African slave queens and my other friends who are also from different countries in Western Africa that are like my closest buddies. Those are the ones that chop up my money. I have a lot of money, but it does not work at all. I am haunted. I feel like my soul is trapped because on my buttocks there is a wound that cannot be healed. No matter what kind of treatment you can use, you cannot heal that wound that is in between my buttocks, because I sacrificed my body, and that is what the devil said he wanted in return for the money that I was about to be given by that man when I went to his shrine in Nigeria. So I grew up in a very small town, in a place where every day was a struggle, hustling. My father, he was a trader, trying to make ends meet with whatever small profit that he could earn. We never had much, but we had each other. My parents did their best to raise us right, but they could not change the fact that poverty was our constant companion. From a young age, I swore that I was going to escape it, that I would not be like the other boys who grew up poor, stayed poor, and died poor like my dad. I wanted more. I wanted to give my family the life that they deserved. When I got the chance to study in South Africa, in brackets, I grabbed it with both hands. So I came here as a volunteer. I thought that it was going to be the beginning of a new chapter, but I came to South Africa with a very big baggage. You see, in our country, like usually we join gangs when you are in university. You might be in another state far away from home, so you join a gang not because you are a violent man, but you join a gang because it is like the fashion at the universities in our country for a young man to be part of a gang, your crew. So when I arrived in Johannesburg, I still had that baggage, and my gang, they still expected me to stay loyal to the gang, even though this was my own way of running away from that life that I used to live when I was in my country. I was here. I was telling myself that I needed to make something out of myself, but then I was tied down to the wrong people. I could not fall out of their hands. I was a victim. As much as you might hate me, but I was also a victim with no place to run to. I could not go to the authorities, and the only group of Nigerians who were taking care of me who were part of the gang. They were involved in kind of shared businesses that I did not like. I am someone that is not that brave so much that I can do drug peddling, fraud, anything that can bring me quick money. No, I cannot do that. I have been always scared of that. It is just that when you are part of a gang, you need to stay loyal to the gang. So we would be offered a cut of the profits, but the majority of the money, it goes to the don, the leader of the gang. One night, whilst I was hanging out with some of the guys, that was when I met a man who seemed different. He was not flashy like the others. He was quiet and mysterious, and I did not know that this man, he was in a occultic brotherhood. Whilst we were talking, he then pulled me aside, and he said that he had seen that I was not like the others, that I had potential, because he saw that I had a little King James version, a New Testament that I had in my pockets. So he said, how do you juggle the two, that you are selling drugs but at the same time reading your Bible? And I just broke down. I don't want to lie to you, because I was in that position that I did not know what else to say. And that little Bible was the one that was able to make me to go to bed and fall fast asleep, because I was seeing the effect of the drugs that it had on the young people, especially those that were in colleges and universities. So he spoke with me and he told me that I could make money without harming the locals, without getting my hands dirty. At first I thought that he was just trying to lure me into some 419 scam, but there was something about the way he spoke that made me listen. He told me that he knew another God, not the God that was written in my little King James Bible, the God that could bring me wealth, real wealth, but it was going to require a big sacrifice. He explained that there was a ritual that could make me rich beyond my wildest dreams, but it would come indeed with a price. He told me that the spirits that he worked with could give me everything that I desired, money, but I would have to be a mark of the devil, and a wound that would never heal. The devil was the one that was going to choose, and if I wanted to choose where this wound was going to be, then I was supposed to be willing enough to have one of my relatives to be killed. All that I had to do was to tell the devil that I was ready for the sacrifice, and I was going to be given a snake, a small python. This python, whenever I want money, when I say, come, give me money, this snake will come, then it will vomit the money, and after it would have vomited the money, it will want me to lie down so that it can lick the place where the wound is. That is why this wound can never be healed, because it is always licked by that poisonous tongue of that spiritual snake. So I agreed after he had explained the ritual to me over and over again. And at that time, I was then taken to this other very beautiful home, and when we got inside, I was even shocked, but because from the outside it just looked like a normal townhouse. And then we spoke and we spoke and we spoke, and then that was when I agreed that it was far much better for me to accept this, because I was not feeling comfortable about selling drugs. So from that night onwards, everything changed. I was given some time to think about it. If I wanted the devil to choose the place where the wound was supposed to be on my body, which will be like food to this python, and I said it is far much better that I choose for myself. As I was lying down one day in my apartment, that was when I chose that it was far much better to have this wound in between my buttocks, because at least that is the last place that someone can look at. So I then returned back to that temple. When I returned back, that was when I told them, and they said that since I had chosen, I had to nominate 4 people that were supposed to be sacrificed to the devil, and the devil was going to choose one amongst them. So I nominated 2 of my sisters, but I wanted to nominate 2 of my brothers, but then I was told that one was supposed to be my uncle and the other one was supposed to be my in-laws. So after I had nominated all of these people, then my sister was the one who was chosen, because the reason was that at that time she was no longer as prayerful as she used to be. So they wanted to take advantage to end her life before she could return back to her prayerful ways, for she was the one who could quickly expose me to the family, because God would reveal to her that I am now a ritualist. And that was the path that I chose to take. And after I had chosen that path, I then started looking for girls. Usually I look for these girls online. Facebook, it is quite easy. You just pop up on someone's profile. Since I really have a very good profile, like it is really professional, and I'm always wearing like a professional, beautiful houses, beautiful cars. So when I pop up on your profile, and then when I speak with you, usually your women, before they respond, they view the profile of the men that will be speaking with them, and when they see the cars and the expensive house that I live in, usually they agree to become my girlfriends. So I do not have sort of like permanent girlfriends, but I have a lot of these girlfriends. Then there are those that are really close to me. These are 3. These girls, like, I make them to do some things that are really gross and disgusting. So when I am with them, I give them money. Here I'm talking about these 3 that I have opened up myself to them. It's not like I told them that I am an occultist. I just told them that this is what I like, because I have this wound that is in between my buttocks. You see that line that separates your buttocks? That is where I have that wound. It does not hurt as such. It only hurts a little bit when I am sitting down and when it is cold, since it is like a very fresh wound that cannot be cured or can be healed. So I opened up to them that I have that fresh wound in between my buttocks. So what I want is that I can give you money, and when I give you money, what you have to do is that I will kneel down on the bed, then you come and then you start to lick me in between my buttocks, and as you are licking me, then that is how I'll be paying the price. When the tongue reaches the place where the wound is, I tell you, sometimes I even scream in pain, because it will be very painful. So these girls, they have since accepted, and they don't know that I am also dating other girls. So I do give them their monthly allowances, and I give them money whenever I am with them one by one, and they do not know each other. Then the rest of the other girls that I meet on your Badoo, your Tinder, your dating WhatsApp platforms, whatever, those ones, it's just like when we are busy touching each other, all of a sudden then I can just tell you that come and do this. This is what makes me to feel really happy. On those ones, I use like charms to confuse a woman so much that she won't see that she will be busy licking up my wound. So this is my confession. I thought that I escaped this trap of being a drug dealer, but now I am doing something that is much more evil. I feel like I am being torn apart. A part of me died a long time ago. I even avoid listening to sermons or anything that praises Christianity. It might be a confession or anything. I immediately switch it off, because it gives me a lot of guilt knowing that I used to be someone who was very close to God. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.